Welcome, everybody, to another episode of the Old School Cannabis Project. It's been a little while, but joined again with Rich as ever and Gage, known as Strain and Seed Saver Open on Instagram.
Yeah, man, thank you. Nice to be back. I'm glad we're here making this happen, dude. This is some cool stuff. There's a lot of good genetics that we need to talk about.
Yeah, I really enjoyed the last episode we did. I didn't know it was up yet, but I remember we had a great conversation. I remember it was a really good episode, so check it out if you haven't heard it already. But yeah, welcome back, man. And what would you like to talk about today? We've been a little while trying to set this up, which is my fault. I've been getting back to the UK, and now,
Yeah, man. It's been a crazy year. I started growing some of your stuff, man, and now I'm at the point to where I don't think I'll ever not have something of yours in my garden. I found that roadkill skunk. It's amazing, and it solidified it the other day. Me and my daughter were driving, and there was a dead skunk on the side of the road. I actually pulled over and took a picture. I'm not sure who wants to see a dead skunk on Instagram, but definitely, out here in Colorado, we know dead skunk and roadkill when we smell it. And I fucking found some pretty nasty roadkill in the genetics that you gave me, man, and it's amazing. It's a beautiful thing. I've been posting a few pictures, dude, and people really love it.
yeah, I've seen those and I've reposted them myself, man. You've definitely found a nice, beautiful looking skunk there, bro.
Yeah, she stinks, man. Real chunky. She grows those fat colas, man, and that's the first thing I noticed with your genetics, man, is those big just donks um, on pretty much every plant I've grown, dude. Even the hazes have that bulk to them in a weird way, bro. And I'm not used to seeing that in hazes.
Well, it's about time these old school big flowers came back, man, because I don't know, all this bullshit I've been seeing the last 10, 15 years, these tiny little fucking things, and they always they always kind of cover their asses, or they think they do, by saying, yeah, maybe small yields, but small batch, and it's craft, and it's fucking not, man. It's fucking not. Small yields of dog shit that he's thrown away and forgetting about. Honestly, it is. We need the highs of the old school. We need the yields as well.
Yeah, I mean, I got tricked too, dude. People have told me my whole the whole time I've been growing, man. That's what I've known is that especially if you grow organic, you're gonna you're gonna sacrifice some yield, which you don't have to
No
at all. So
bullshit.
yeah, man.
I've just had beautiful results this season with the KNF that I've done. For the first time, I did the entire grow purely on KNF and chicken shit, and yields were fantastic. Resin production was fantastic. Tips were amazing as always. It was and flavors perfect. The smoking experience, the way it burned, absolutely perfect. I'm KNF for life now, man.
Yeah, it's the way to go, especially with great genetics, especially with old school genetics. So, and I don't want to hear fucking people saying, oh well, you got lucky or blah blah blah. It's like, no, fucker. For the past year, I've been growing BlueSkiesVienna gear. So I've grown at least 40 plants, man. So, and I found three like keepers, man, and not just like good ones. They were all good, but three of them are my favorite, dude. That I'm gonna keep around for quite some time. So, and then I'm still popping more of your stuff, and then the stuff that you got coming out too. So,
Yeah, well, definitely. I've got a nice few new things coming out. I've got some available now that I've just brought back with me, and in the new year there'll be another dozen or so new varieties, and people will see. I've just I've took things in a slightly different direction, or things have been put in a slightly different direction, whichever way you want to look at it. Because I've not focused so heavily on skunk this year. I've got some nice skunks, of course, some skunk hazes too. Very potent, very rank, very raunchy, very nasty, fucking repellent skunks tip profiles. But I'll be really pleased to discover the small tip profile in abundance this year in what was kind of given to me. That's how I look at things now. I just look at these genetics I have as, being a gift from God, and the things that I find, I just leave in his hands now. And I always find nice things, man. So I just popped all my seeds, didn't even bother labeling them again this year. So I'm so used to working with my seeds, you know, I don't need to necessarily fucking label, oh, this was from the boss, this was tip down, whatever, or this was cherry cola, this was this, that, the other, because the tip profiles, they're everything I'm familiar with. And it doesn't matter anyway to me too much. It's a whole new gene pool, that didn't come with names attached. And that's what I like. I like finding new things, unique things, interesting things, valuable medically, like the eucalyptus skunk that I've got now this year. That literally clears the airwaves and the sinuses, kind of open up your lungs, when you inhale. It's fucking gonna be, I'd imagine, really good for people with COPD and perhaps other breathing conditions. So yeah, with things like that, things like the Smile profile coming through. Smile was a creation of Old Timer Ones. It's got very just its own unique profile. I can't really describe it. It's like it's its own distinct thing. Once you've grown a smoke Smile, you'll know it, and you won't forget it, and you'll be able to know it in the future. But until you have, it's just a bit difficult to explain. It's not foul. It's not nasty. It's a really, really beautiful, joyous, and it's just beautiful. But it's not. You could say more on the sweeter spectrum of things. I say it's not rank or repellent, but it's its own thing. And
Like
you have to
funky.
kind of. The new creation I've made this year will be, it's almost an improvement on Smile, but the original Smile, not funky, no. Like how you
Okay.
guys call funky, no. This very, I don't know, man. It's like maybe, I don't know. It's its own fucking thing. I'm sorry. I can't really
Oh,
describe
that's
it more.
awesome, man.
Because, like, for example, amnesia haze or cheese. They're like distinct. Once you've smelled them, you know them. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Um, and it's the same with Smile. And like for me, describing cheese, it's the most well-known thing in the UK. It's everybody knows cheese, but I can't even give an accurate. I don't even know how to describe. When people say, "Oh, it smells like cheese," it does not fucking smell like any cheese to me. Certainly no cheese I've ever come across, and I have come across quite a few, but I've had bullshit cheese. It's smelling like cheese. It don't. Not that as in the dairy product. No way. But I would struggle to describe it, and I just have to tell people cheese smells like cheese, and once you smell like cheese, you'll know it. It's not like fruity as such. It's not a fucking skunk, as I'd call a skunk. It smells like skunk. So anyway, what I'm getting at is Smile is its own fucking thing. It's very, very beautiful, uplifting. It's great. So I've just found a lot of plants with the Smile tip profile this year, but then I found one I really, really fucking liked, which is going to be available next year when I get the rest of my seeds. I'm calling it the Rotten Berry Smile, and it's got that rotten berry. It's got the smile, and then it's got a really fucking nice, good layer of skunk in it too. It's fucking nice, and yeah, just what I'm getting at is skunks are great. Skunks are great, and they'll always be great. But there is a lot more in the gene pool that I've got than just skunk. So I'm kind of going off at least this season in a slightly different direction than focusing on RKS. I've put enough of that out there. That is fucking out there now. It's been brought back thoroughly and it's out there. So I don't care really too much because I've experienced so many other nice things from Old Timer One that, yeah, I'm on to the next thing.
Yeah, definitely, man. And there are a lot of terp profiles to be found, man. I found some shit that smelled like sawdust. Weirdly enough, I had some shit that smelled like insulin. I'm a type 1 diabetic, And I know not everybody knows what insulin smells like, but if you're a diabetic, it has a very distinct smell. I tried to clone this plant and it didn't take. I ended up losing it, but weird, weird profiles to be found, definitely.
Well, I've
Um,
never smelt insulin, I've got to say, and I've never come across a sawdust tip profile yet. That's interesting, man.
that's the only way I can describe it. I'm not
Wet
too.
sawdust or dry sawdust?
It was dry. So, well, I don't. So, like, if you were standing next to somebody who was cutting sawdust, I don't know if that'd be
Okay, cool.
considered dry or wet. And that's the only way I know how to describe it. I'm not too savvy
So
with like,
fresh sawdust.
yeah, yeah, maybe it's like a cedar wood, maybe,
Nice.
but just something that I wasn't very familiar with. And then the insulin smelled very medical, very sterile,
Yeah,
almost if you've been in a hospital, kind of that clean smell, but it has that back end of just medical to it.
yeah.
Really fucking weird. And then right now I'm sitting next to one of your plants, man, that is just a squatter. You can't get this fucking thing to go above three feet, but the colas on it, dude, are just heavy little fucking things, dude. And this is the one that it has a skunky back tone to it, but it has that real old school funk, man. Not even skunky at all, just a funky fucking foul, weird smell. Just a lot of stuff that I'm not used to because I'm 32. Um, and so I missed out on a lot of this shit. Like when I started smoking, I was getting the very end of all these classic fucking strains. Um, but yeah, man. Yeah, if you really want to grow some good genetics, people, leave the bullshit aside, come in with a fresh, view and give these genetics a chance, man, especially these new ones that Blue's coming out with. I'm very excited for, and I rarely get excited for seeds. I got over 2,000 fucking strains in my vault, man, all different strains, and I'm mostly excited to grow BlueSkiesVienna this year for sure, for sure. So like I said, I had messaged you the other day, and I'm like, please put away, at least a pack of fucking one of everything for me, bro. I want to try it all, and I mean that shit too, dude, for sure. I can't wait to find some crazy shit, bro, because you stay
Well,
stoned
bro,
for several hours, bro. That's the other thing.
bro, you just reminded me of one real crazy thing I found this year. Is that fucking Chinese lizard wine? That is
Seen
mental. It is mental, man. I'm telling you. When I used to visit a friend in a place, we used to go for a Chinese, and at the end of every meal, these Chinese restaurant owners would bring out a bottle of this rice wine, I guess it was, or maybe like a spirit. I don't know. It was poured in shot glasses and it was strong, but it had a fucking lizard in there, like a little fucking gecko or something. I don't know, like a 6-inch lizard or something in the bottle, with its skin flaking off and all that shit.
Oh, a real lizard.
Yeah, 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 man, a real lizard. The lizard wine I used to call it. So this stuff had like an alcohol. Obviously, the tip profile would be like in the alcohol fucking sector of the tips, but like it's got this mad. Listen, it is identical to this fucking wine. That was the only thing I could ever describe it as, and it's weird, man. It's obviously like an alcoholic tip, a spirit type tip, but weird. And the high is weird as well. The fucking highs are weird, man. It's like a real goofy. It's potent, but like fucking makes you a bit stupid. Not sure I really like it too much in that regard. But it's I'd like to smoke a bit more of a flower, but fucking it was so seeded up. But it was a weird fucking high to match the really unusual tips. I mean, I'm really looking forward to seeing what people find in that particular line as well. Because it's just interesting. That's what I encourage people to explore this new menu for, really. It's just the new tips, the new and different tips. As I say, it's not just about skunk, but obviously there's going to be a lot of skunks getting found, a lot of skunk hazes, and a lot of nasty shit. But just these unusual tips. I found quite a few like eucalyptus. I found like a eucalyptus skunk, a eucalyptus type haze. I've got some like both spectrums of like narrow leaf and broadleaf. I found blueberry, really nice blueberry. I'm looking forward to seeing what they do. What else did I? Those were the smile plants, the rotten berry smile, the what did I? The tropical fruit smile. I'm looking forward to see what comes from those. Um, what else? Oh, the traditional skunk haze. I've got a very sativa or haze dominant skunk haze, and the seeds are very tiny sativa seeds, like you'd expect from hazes. And then I've got a shorter skunk dominant, really raunchy, nasty skunk heavy skunk haze. So I got both spectrums of the skunk haze in seed lines. Um, what else? Oh, that really very beyond eucalyptus and menthol, like a Vicks vapor rub, a really extreme Vicks vapor rub plant that I found. What else as well? I'll have to go through my menu. I can't fucking remember everything as I'm speaking, really. But the eucalyptus skunk was one, the blueberry skunk haze is one, the tropical fruit smile, the rotten berry smile, the sativa leaning skunk haze, the indica leaning skunk haze, lime. That was another one I've got, a good lime haze. Um, yeah, I'll just have to check the rest of my menu and get back to you of everything because it's about 24, 26 new things I'm putting out.
Yeah, it's that eucalyptus skunk or whatever skunk haze. I had found something similar. If you scroll back on my feed, you can see I posted about it too. And I had told my girlfriend that it was like a spearmint. I didn't really know how to put my nose on it, but
There are
eucalyptus.
some mints, man. It could be spearmint because
Okay,
I've seen spearmint, I've seen eucalyptus, menthol, and
it
like
was very mentholy.
yeah.
Yeah, like you rubbed the fucking plant. It was almost like you opened Vicks Vapor Rub. It's
Mm.
crazy you said that shit, but I literally have a post where I explain how you can use this stuff medically. It's like Vicks Vapor Rub. It's
Yeah, man. I remember
yeah,
the first time I ever come across that, and that really was a fucking, an eye opener or a fucking airwave opener. It was like fucking cleared the sinuses, like Vicks. What's that? Vicks, not that thing you stick up your nose, vapor rub, man, isn't it?
yeah,
What's
Yeah,
it
yeah.
called? Yeah, like Vicks, man, Vicks inhaler. It's like that shit. It's crazy.
yeah. And then I also found that other plant too. I forget what the terp profile was, and I had hit you up last week about it. I was outside and I was about ready to leave my house. It was like midnight and I was tripping the fuck out, dude. Like I was paranoid as shit. And I was debating on leaving my house or not because I didn't know, what the fuck the world was going to bring. And I enjoy that. I like
Yeah.
that. It got me fucking high. Like I was on coke or something, dude. It was trippy, but I didn't feel
Yeah.
stoned. I felt fucking high.
And you
And it
don't
was
remember
fun.
the tier profile attached to that one?
No, I forget which one it was, dude. I got so many fucking plants, man.
Yeah, bro, that's
Smoke
the thing.
around.
It,
Um, and
that,
that's
no, no, go ahead.
that's also what Blue was saying, dude, about just like
Yeah.
fuck, dude. It don't really matter what the genetics are at this point. I mean, DJ Short, bro, and JD Short, second generation genetics, they do that shit too. They came out with a strain that's called K45, and it's because they got so much shit going on. They just started throwing numbers on the fucking shit and letters because they're like, it don't fucking matter what it's called. Like, it could be called B52 or K8. Like, it don't fucking matter as long as it's separated from the rest.
Well, I
And
got another one I'm calling koala puke because it's like a real nice, well, it's not that nice.
Real
It's
nice.
it's a mix of eucalyptus and vomit. So
oh, okay,
I'm
hell yeah.
calling, I'm calling it koala puke.
Yeah,
And
they eat
Solid, solid.
eucalyptus. Sorry,
um,
How
Rick, what were you
about
saying, brother?
um shit, I mean, let's how about this angle? They don't call you fucking strain and seed saver for nothing, man. So for you in your years of growing, what do you think are some of the real strains you were happy that you saved?
Just in general?
Yeah.
Oh man, so I had a sour from like way back in the day. It's a cut from 2003. I'm glad I hung on to that because sour's coming back now. I like a lot of the old stuff, man. I got a blueberry that I've had around for quite some time that I'm trying to replace. I'm real heavy into OGs, chems, sours, and I'm trying to get into skunks too. This past couple of years, and that's initially how I came across blue, was on my hunt for the skunk. But just those true old school strains, man, the ones you can't fucking argue with, whether you know whether it's rolled up or in a pipe or in a bong or what have you, dude. It's just that old school. I'm all about that old school. I still collect the new school because one day, who knows, it could fetch me a pretty penny, or there could, there's good genetics still out there. But just that old school, man. Definitely the old school shit, dude. Chems and OGs and sours is my thing for sure.
And since you're a person that has a RKS, like, and probably you kind of have the best of each, besides, I don't know, OG, I don't know what OGs you have, and I don't know much about OGs in general, but in terms of power ranking, what would you put RKS, Diesel, and OG?
Like, how would I compare them?
Yeah, in terms of power, which one do you think is of the high?
Um, I like the high of sours a lot, and that's my favorite. They just get me up and going and stuff. The roadkill skunk I found, it's like an 8 out of a 10. It has the smell, it has everything. It could be a little more powerful, but that's part of the game, man. That's why I'm gonna hunt more seeds. I'm gonna probably make some S1s of this roadkill skunk and hunt through them. Because I know, there's those powerhouse genetics in there, man. So
I found something so nice at the end of this season. I was just blown away by it. Out of 25 years, it's probably the nicest overall thing that I've experienced. It started off in its life really skunky. That's what drew me to her to begin with. Really dark velvety green leaves, dark green velvety leaves, and strong smell of skunk and veg. Really good branching, very good strong structure, very vigorous, very fast growing, very large growing, quick growing plant. But then later in veg, it turned more towards again the smile profile, terp profile, much more sweet. I lost all that fucking nasty skunk that was in veg. Really big resinous flowers, and it turned out, hardly pollinated it at all compared to the other plants that I've bred with this year. So I've only ended up with about 100 seeds from her, which obviously I won't be letting any out, and I'll just be furthering myself. But it meant I got to smoke a lot of flower, and this flower was fucking divine. I'm telling you, it was like it's got like aspects of low dose mushrooms and ketamine stuff like that to it. It's more an ecstasy. It's got yeah, like a really really nice kind of fucking those vibes about it. And I was driving. Well, I wasn't driving, but I was being driven in the countryside after smoking, well, while smoking a fat joint of it. And I'm telling you, everything it was improved. Colors, everything, my mood, like all the stuff outside, like was all the greens of the different foliage and trees, all of that was. It was like enhanced, like I say, low dose kind of little mushrooms or even like an MDMA type feeling to it. It was fucking amazing. Bit like again, smiles used to be called Prozac in a seed. I've never fucking took Prozac or advocated that shit, but fucking this would fucking wipe out the need for Prozac. I'm telling you, it was like such a life enhancer. I was gonna say day brightening, but I don't give a fuck. I'm telling you, it made everything better. And all you want to smoke is that once you've had it, because I was just like, I just want to feel like this all day fucking long. It's not like I'm any kind of depressive or anything like that in my normal state of being, but this weed made you feel better. I don't care. I don't care. It is better than being sober. This
Yeah.
improves the world. I don't give a shit. Everything. It was just such. That shit blew my mind. For 25 years of smoking, this one was the one in terms of the
One,
best high. And it wasn't the most potent, like obviously didn't it didn't like knock me out because it wasn't that kind of high. It was strong in terms of its potency, but it's not that kind of potent. But it was like it would fucking destroy the pharmaceutical industry or the antidepressant industry because all anyone would need to do is smoke this weed and that's it. You're
yeah,
feeling
man.
happy. Not it's so hard to explain to people who haven't had this kind of high as well. Fucking
Yeah, man. What you're describing kind of sounds like a mix of Smile and the old timer Skunk X Haze, the one that you said kind of hits like acid.
quite possibly. Yeah, I obviously never tried that. That was his one. He talked about this plant that was a proper him, but um, the high was like a lick of acid. He used to say, but yeah, maybe it was that kind of thing. Yeah, yeah, you're right, man. But I'm telling you guys, this needs to be experienced. And that's why I said to people first, I'm not letting out a single seed because one, I've got to put out a massive. I need to like do a massive seed increase, obviously, in terms of what I'm going. I've got 100 seeds, and I need, obviously, to make more to select from going forward,
Yeah,
and then to be
honestly.
able to release seeds. But I want to release these seeds in such a way that people are waiting for it, that it makes an impact, if you get what I mean. I've experienced what these cunts have done with trying to like hide the skunk and everything the past few years. But I want people who literally for their mental health type thing to experience this. People who are suffering their mental health or, you know, anybody in general these days. We are in the fucking end times. So give a fuck what anyone says. And the world's fucking shit. And so everybody should smoke this weed regardless, I think, because it just makes everything fucking better. But yeah, I want everybody to be able to fucking experience this particular one for sure, because everybody needs to. This is medicine for the body and mind for sure. This is
There's a lot
beyond
of
fuck.
there's a lot of people, dude, that are starting to wake up and to fucking find, those good genetics, man. And there's a lot of people realizing that these big breeders are just bullshitting, basically. So, um,
Yeah.
Yeah, man. I mean, it's just I just think it pulls from a shittier source of marketing, like that whole fucking cookies gene pool and that whole bag appeal and THC level farming, like it's not the same
No,
as
that shit is
old
dead.
school,
It
bro.
is such bullshit. It's such dog shit, man. It's just unreal.
I don't think I have one thing with cookies in it in my garden, to be honest. Not
Mm.
one
Yeah,
fucking
man.
thing.
You don't need it, man. Fucking hell. But yeah, so that's what I've been more happy about finding this year, uh, more than just skunks or whatever. Is this new? Because I used to always think of them in terms of being destroyed by Dave Watson because of on behalf of Big Pharma for the burgeoning cancer industry. But since having this particular new find, I've been thinking of like how it would impact the pharmaceutical industry in terms of their fucking antidepressant sector as well. Because trust me, this honestly, that's what I believe. I just believe this would be a game changer in terms of this kind of emotion impacting cannabis. You know what I mean?
Yeah, 100%.
Uh,
It's like imagine if you had something. I mean, this doesn't really sound like Adderall, but like imagine if there was something, a strain that was similar to Adderall, like, and you don't get the downside of having fucking heart problems from taking it.
Yeah, and there is, bro. It's not, yeah,
Yeah,
fucking 1,000%. That's what I'm saying, dude. Like, it and that's why I enjoy those highs, bro, like those fucking racy highs, bro. Because like I took Adderall years ago. This shit was like 15 years ago, man. I didn't know what it was. Somebody told me to take the pill. I was young. I fucking took the pill. It felt like I was on meth or something, bro. I've never ever done meth. That's the fucking devil's drug. That's horrible shit. But what I could imagine, you know what I mean? Just real
Yeah, yeah.
fast, heart racing, fucking, and same shit when I took that Adderall, man. And that's what I'm saying, dude. It's like people they get focused sometimes when they get into that energetic mode, bro. And at least I do. And I've found several strains and blue stuff that has got me, you know, just that focused tunnel vision.